Welcome to this wonderful 6-week guided meditation program, Kailash. Our programs are named after mountains for some time. Mountains represent condensed energy. These have to give some name, so we are working with mountains. 6 weeks is a great amount of time. It's the mandala. In 6 weeks, when we practice meditation regularly and sincerely, then we are definitely seeing some kind of transformation in ourselves, and as a result, some kind of impact in most cases to the people around us. This program, where all of us are coming together, would not have been possible without conviction and support from starting with Karthikeyan sir, SVB sir, R. Rabani sir, Madhavan Nambiyaji, Thangavelji, Prem, everybody over there, Ramesh, everyone, Dr. Yansi sir, everyone who has been there and who felt this can actually reach to many people. So we're deeply grateful to each and every one of you who have created that awareness, about this program, about meditation. And a lot of volunteers, Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation carries this program with a lot of volunteers. And I'm very grateful to every one of them in bringing it, coming and bringing it all together. Just want us to do a small exercise. Can we just keep our hands on our heart once? And can you just feel? I want you to feel that heartbeat. Just single hand or double hand. Just with your eyes closed. I want you to feel it. Beat. I'm asking, do you feel the heartbeat? Okay. Wonderful. So perhaps many felt that heart is beating. But and this heart beating, when did it start? It started when we were just about perhaps 4 weeks ago. Not 4 weeks. The heart beating starting somewhere around 10 to 12 weeks. So the heartbeat starts around then, and then it goes on to now. We perhaps have not recognized that it is there going on, but how many times have we rested in all these years? And then has it ever taken rest? This heart, has it ever taken rest where it stopped beating? This heart has not taken rest at all. And we know that if it stops beating, then it is a different rest. It goes on, it carries its function forever, whether we like it or we don't like it. We need rest every day. But this heart and many of these functions in our body, they cannot take rest and they won't take rest. But how many times we've been grateful for this heart? Just thinking about for so many years, when we need consistently that rest. But how many times we've been grateful for this function or various things in this body? Dear friends, our body is one of the most intelligent system out there, with 2.5 crores of cells that are being created every second. And it is continuously functioning for ourselves, but we have not taken perhaps note of it. Many. Some may have been very mindful and then perhaps taking care of it. The thing is, while we may not have taken note of the body and its functioning, and then we have perhaps taken it for granted because it's there, we have actually been interfering with its functioning very regularly. That also we're not aware. Because we're carrying often so much of thought in our mind, and often this thought is anxious, worrisome, or fearful because of these thoughts, and which are always triggered either through our own recollection of past or through the environment, that is people around us, the surroundings around us, the newspapers, the TV, other people. Because of that, we oftentimes, the thoughts that we carry are anxious, worrisome, and fearful. And as a result, we're also constantly keeping the body in an emergency mode, in a heightened alert mode, it's called. When you keep the body in this height, we're also not only recognizing its natural function and then acknowledging, instead, we have been polluting or interfering its natural function by having various what we call the stress hormones and chemicals into it. So then it is struggling. It's like if we have plain fresh water, the birds just love it and then they are there, they're enjoying the water and the sea. When oils get contaminated, when the oil spills happen, leaks happen, they get contaminated in the sea, then we know that birds just cannot move. They try and then they get stuck, and then they try here and there, and then slowly, slowly they get stuck. The natural ability is gone. They have to now work artificially, keep themselves pushing. If they can stay there, and they don't survive, and then slowly some of them die. So the body is a heightened intelligence with trillions of cell operations, biological operations going on, carrying a 600 billions of cells, those of us and of the bacteria. We are like considered living bacteria. We're carrying ourselves with so much of it in this body. But we've neither acknowledged it nor are we allowing it to function naturally. Instead, due to this various worrisome thought and feelings, we have been interfering its functioning. When we are interfering its functioning and keeping in heightened awareness, and then with it's called stress. That heightened awareness caused due to the various thoughts and feelings that we have, which are mostly negative. And as a result, so many chemicals into the body, and as a result, the body is working pretty hard, and then oftentimes it cannot work hard. When things, when we fall ill, is primarily because things are not working very well in the body. And we cannot recover from something is primarily because things are not working very well in the body. The stat is that more than 80% of the time, people who are not meditating have been generally having in very stressful, anxious thoughts. Small thing to big thing. Someone says COVID here, then that triggers some kind of a worry and a fear because we've been now trained enough in the last few months. Someone reads an article and says, okay, this company is having a little bit of struggle financially, then that triggers a thought about, okay, what happens to my job? Someone says, I got fever, you get a phone call from a relative and says there is some fever for your closest relative, then starts triggering and say, okay, what is it related to? Is it something that is this person going to exist now? All kinds of just a thought which triggers into just kind of a stimulus that is from environment is coming. It triggers into past thoughts related to it, and then that sort of lets it have a series of negative, anxious, worrisome, fearful thoughts. The stat is that 80% of the time we've been carrying a lot of negative and worrisome thought. Quantum physics has proven that our observation, our thought and feeling is creating our outer reality. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Our thought and feeling are our observation collapses a possibilities. Our observation equal to thought and feeling is creating outer reality. So then if we have been carrying this 80 or 90% of this negative, anxious, fearful, and redundant thoughts that are there, then dear friends, even based on science, then our outer reality, that means the situations in our life, that outer, what we experience every day, is merely caused by our thoughts and feelings. And of course, environment is there. Thoughts, feelings, and environment comprise of our attention. So thoughts, feelings, environment equal to our attention and our outer reality. So what I experience day to day, whether it is my poor health, whether it is the people not helping me, or my company not taking care of me, or me not getting into a good project, or my business not succeeding, or whatever that may be, is saying our attention, our observation, our attention collapse a possibility of an event into our life. So if attention is thoughts and feelings and environment is like our furniture. If it brings up an old memory of something, some poor thing happened, an office building, it brings up an old memory of a not a good feeling or a good positive feeling. Good feeling, positive, whatever that is, the environment is there around it, our settings that are there that we continuously live in, or of course the people through whom that we constantly get stimulus, and then a various amount of our memory that has been there in our mind of the past. All of that together is our thoughts and feelings which are causing our outer reality. We'll understand this more deeply. But if that is so, if our thoughts and feelings create our reality, and then if most of the time we've been into those thought and feeling which are not supportive of our life, worrying, when you worry something, we create more of it. If I get a little bit of pain and I feel, okay, this is going to help me, this is going to make me really bad for the next 2 days, then it's going to create more of it. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. So if that is so, and then we're interfering, either first acknowledging the body to work, but then instead interfering and then not letting work naturally, and then all of it is because the thoughts and feelings create reality. And so if there is a technique and if there is a way, we can bring it back to normalcy. If there is a way to rectify those thoughts and feelings that we might be constantly be thinking about, and then most naturally might feel that this is how life is going to be, this is how the government is going to be, this is how my people are going to be. If we have made conclusions and hence we only project based on that, and if we say there is this great meditation or the breath mindfulness meditation that we're going to practice is actually going to rectify that and all of it pretty significantly, and removing any of the worries and any of the anxieties and fears, and then as a result letting a body function most naturally, and as a result we gain anything that is not working well within a body. And if there is this technique, if it's changing, helping us change our thoughts and feelings significantly into something that we can support and grow our life, and hence naturally our outer reality starts becoming more beautiful. We create things that we feel, we start doing things that we always wanted to do. So, dear friends, this meditation is helping us fundamentally work on altering our psyche, the mind, which is divided into conscious mind and subconscious mind. The conscious mind is active right now, where we're all actively listening in. I'm actively speaking with a conscious mind, you're actively listening to me. That's conscious mind, where it's responsible for a cognitive function, learning, reading, synthesizing information, decision making. 99.99% of our relationships, what we attract in our life, is primarily because of what is my current thought. If I am walking into my office and says today, yet another day, I'm going to have a tough time, that is exactly what we receive. Tough time, tough environment, and this person come back to me again, you will attract that kind of person that day, that manager in that mode. 99% of the time. It's called mirror one by Essenes. That mirror of present moment, depending on our thought in our mind or feeling, is what we attract, the kind of people in our life. That's it. 99% simple. We can experiment. We're going to experiment over the next 6 weeks and then see what difference it's making when we start rectifying it. So this simple meditation that we're going to learn is going to help us move us from a negative, disastrous, fearful thinking to a very positive thought, into a miraculous thinking and a positive, creative feelings. It's going to move us in from on one side where we've been very worrisome and then fearful, to another side we are very positive, expansive outlook, loving. That's naturally is going to happen through process meditation. So then this meditation then is all and about connecting and understanding our mind, this conscious, subconscious mind, and then many more, understanding at a greater level this conscious mind, subconscious mind. There's a word conscious, consciousness. It's there in that. That consciousness is awareness that exists everywhere. That consciousness is awareness that exists everywhere. Quantum physics called it quantum consciousness, or the quantum energy field. There is this quantum energy field that exists everywhere, where you and I are part of this whole energy field, aspects of energy. That's quantum physics. It's the quantum consciousness, or the consciousness. So consciousness is there, exists everywhere, is awareness. And part of the consciousness is our mind, which is divided into conscious mind and subconscious. Things that we are fully aware, conscious mind, where you and I are right now actively participating in this event. Subconscious mind, where I'm not aware, you're not aware, but however, we do have deep inside some kind of a belief or a memory that is stored, which triggers off The moment we see somebody, we see an environment. As soon as we came in today, this morning, when many of us who have been attending the past program, when we see each other faces, suddenly the whole memory of the past program comes back without in split second. That whole memory comes back in split second. And then suddenly it also pulls back for sure today, first day, all the good memories. The moment if something did not go right, like a music doesn't go right, or something doesn't go right, immediately it also pulls back some other memories associated with the old one. It's like that subconscious mind where it contains a lot of these things that are long-term memory, things that become habits or perceptions. Many of those are there. So the practice of meditation, if our thoughts and feelings create our reality, the practice of meditation must deal with rectifying our thoughts and feelings into something more positive, miraculous, so that we can actually create a beautiful life. This meditation that we're learning and that we practice for the next 6 weeks, dear friends, in a group is called Anapanasati meditation, or breath mindfulness meditation. This technique is very, very simple. This is comes from Gautama Buddha, Gautama Siddhartha, 2500 years ago. He tried various things for 6 years. He was a prince. At the age of 29, he went out, he saw things that he didn't really like. There is death, there are old age, there is suffering. There are three things that he's seen. While his dad tried to protect him as much as possible in letting him see any of these outer sufferings, but then he somehow figured out, he went out and then he saw that, and then it was clear to him that he wanted to go and then understand what's the primary reason for behind all of this. Why death? Why old age? Why suffering? And so he went and explored. The story goes that he went and explored for 6 years of various techniques. There is a point where Gautama Siddhartha was on almost, he was very, very thin, bony, because he thought fasting completely, right? Fasting completely in his body without taking anything perhaps will help him realize why there is a deep, what is the reason for it. He went from master to master, was not satisfied with any answers. Then finally, one fine day, he just sat under a Bodhi tree, and then suddenly he started observing his breath. That's it. He just started observing his breath. And as he started observing his breath, in no time, he went deep inside, and then he started seeing, he started connecting, he started seeing everything that is ever happening and happened, happening, and will happen. He started observing the breath, and then he started seeing some great, great visions, great scenes that he's seeing in his meditation. And then he's understood that he started having this concept of bliss. He started connecting with himself so deeply and then so richly that he felt, and he got total clarity at the end of this 3 hours of meditation that he did in the morning that day, that early morning hours of that. So this meditation technique, I gave it Anapanasati. Ana means in breath, apana means out breath, and then sati means to be with. This technique that he popularized, and Brahmarshi Patriji, who has been my grand teacher, founder of Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, brought this technique now into the forefront where millions of people are practicing. Worldwide, 1 in 2 generally practice a breath-based meditation technique, and this breath mindfulness meditation, where we simply observing a natural breath, has been one of the most easiest and the technique which is anyone can learn in a minute and then practice it much easily, not requiring any physical special support, not requiring special time support, not requiring special environment support, any place, anywhere, by anyone, starting from the age of 5 years all the way till 200 years, whatever that may be. It can be practiced. There's very simplest techniques. Gautam Buddha found it so simple, and then Patriji has been promoting this significantly in the last 40 years. So, dear friends, we will learn and practice this technique in our program for throughout. Personally, I came into meditation. I'm Chandra Puramarsetti. I came into meditation in the year 99. My personal background is I'm an IT engineer, and I've had a successful IT career quite technology oriented, deep into technology, graduating from BITS Pilani, and then having worked in companies here and then in the United States for some time. Now I'd like to really stay there. So came back. And when I came back after about 10 years of working in the United States, I met my younger brother, Dr. GK, who was constantly asking me to meditate. And he's been telling people that meditation can heal, and you can heal yourself with meditation. Then that's the time I met Dr. GK. And that's when I met Patriji. And and I saw that there are people who are practicing meditation. The doctor is saying that meditation is a way to heal any condition. And then there are many people following, listening to this master, hundreds of people, and said, okay, there's got to be something. That's how I explored. And then in the year 2002, I understood the importance that suffering is due to our individual ignorance. I understood the statement which used to be from Gautama Buddha. Suffering is due to individual ignorance. We heal ourselves. What we sow is what we reap. What we think is what we create. I understood a lot of the meaning of many of these things as I meditated in the year 2002 quite intensively. I used to meditate for an hour to two every day for about 40 days. That's 2 month period in August, September. And then I also read a lot of books. A lot of books that support and expand our consciousness. That there is abundance everywhere. That our thoughts actually create reality. That there is competition there only for excellence. That we actually are infinite energy, infinite body. So I was reading a lot of spiritual science books. And in those 2-3 months of my deep meditations, I understood myself that yes, if I am feeling good or bad, happy or sad, it's all coming from the meaning that associate for the events that are happening in our lives, dear friends. And so that's the time then it became very clear that happiness is something very easily can be gained when I control the thought process, because this meditation is helping me actually reduce all the thought. And this meditation has helped me to explore that consciousness, to understand it. Now, quantum physics deeply calls it as quantum consciousness or this quantum energy field. We are in our body, as quantum physics understood, we are 99.99% energy, emptiness. And inside our body, at subatomic particle level, inside our body, we're only 0.01% matter. This is quantum physics. Only 0.01% matter, 99.99% energy. Matter is equal to our observation. Quantum physics said is matter. So matter is nothing but our life, our environment, our body, our life, our environment. And that is nothing but a thought and feeling that we carry, our experience and memories that we carry. That's matter, right? What is about our life? Our life today is full of experiences. And a thought and feeling that we have is always about an experience. It has a person and a place and a thing in it. We have places, we have people, and we have things in it, and in a given time frame. So that's experience that we record in our memory. So our life and everything is about an experience, a memory. There's a past experience and a future experience that we wish. So it's all, memory is nothing but experience. The thoughts and feelings are about experiences, and they're all there. And meditation, where we withdrawing all our thought in our mind. When we withdraw all the thought and empty our mind, and then if quantum physics is saying that we are actually emptiness deep inside, 99.9999% or only 0.01% matter, because our observation collapses the possibility as matter. And observation is thoughts and feelings. And if we withdraw all our thoughts and feelings, then we're withdrawing attention of the complete matter, that little tiny thing that we have in the body. So we become energy. If matter, we withdraw attention of the matter, and if 99.99% we're energy but not matter, so automatically we have to become that which we are, and so we become energy. So this meditation is about emptying our mind to reduce our thought, thousands of thoughts, 50 to 70,000 thoughts we have in a given day. So meditation is about reducing all the thousands of thoughts that are there, of which 95% are redundant or negative. We want to reduce all of them. One. And as we reduce, every thought is energy. So we channelize, we conserve a lot of energy, and then we start becoming present moment. So meditation is about reducing all the thought and then bring ourselves into the present moment. Because we take out all the past, take out all the futuristic, then we are all in the present moment. That's one. And then as we reduce our thought in meditation, we become energy. Become one with that energy, what quantum physics calls it quantum energy field. So become one with that energy. That energy field, which is empty, it's all emptiness. And then so we go into a place where there's no body, where there is nothing, there is no place. None of these exist because we empty ourselves. So, dear friends, then this simple breath mindfulness meditation technique that we use to become empty of all thought is called Anapanasati. And we will go into the meditation. Now we'll practice. Every day we're going to practice this technique. Today we're going for a little shorter time. But then every day, I mean, the first couple of days we'll do a little shorter, but afterwards we're going to increase it. The technique is, so wherever we are, so those of you are, of course, those who have already been doing this, we are coming together as a large group. But otherwise, the technique for those of you new, it's simple. The three things we do, we have to keep our body very comfortable, and then we can actually be observing to make our mind empty. So to keep the body comfortable, three things. One is closing your eyes, remove your specs. Specs are not required for meditation. So three things. We cross our feet at ankle and then cross our fingers into fingers like this, right? So first position is cross our feet at ankle. Just simple, just crossing legs, right? One over the other, left or right, right or left, doesn't matter. And then second, crossing our fingers into fingers, and then resting our hands comfortably in our lap. Rest our hands comfortably in our lap. And third is then we remove our specs and we close our eyes, right? You remove your specs and you close your eyes. So this is the posture. You want yourself to be very comfortable. Spine need not be erect. Take back support if required. Now you are sitting in the chair. You can also sit on the floor if you're feeling comfortable, right? So on the screen that what you see is the two postures, one in the chair, one on the floor. Either way, crossing your fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, and you cross that feet at ankle. Simple, just simple crossing, right? And on the floor, you can be a simple cross-legged position. It need not be Padmasana or Siddhasana, any of them. Simple, comfortable, cross-legged, right? You need to be cross-legged as much. And then spine need not be erect, and just sit down. Make it comfortable to you. If body aches are there, a backache is there, you need backrest, take it, right? It's a myth that we have to have spine erection for meditation, not necessarily. What is important is that we have to take a posture. It's called Sukhamaya, Sthira Sukhasanam. It's called Sthira Sukha Asanam, right? Patanjali's eightfold meditation process, right? So one is asana. Asana is Sthira Sukhasanam. So you got to be still, sthira in a single fixed place, and asana Sukhasanam. So this is Sukhasanam, right? We feel comfortable. Then the pranayama, asana and pranayama is Sukhamaya Pranayama is nothing but our observing our normal natural breath. So we stay in this posture. Then simply what we do is with your eyes closed, you observe your natural breath. You observe your natural breath. Yes, stop sharing and then put it back onto me. So you observe the natural breath. You take any point in your nose, anywhere, and observe. Breath may be here, 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 anywhere. You just take a point as a reference and then observe your breath going in, coming out. That's it. Observe the breath is going in, breath is coming out, dear friends. So when you close your eyes and observe, the breath is going in and coming out. As you observe, for some will find that breath is becoming light or short. Initially, you might have started the breath from here, right? But then as you observe, you'll see the breath is becoming shorter, 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 shorter. Initially, the breath may be heavy, then slowly the breath may be becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. Heavy breath means lots of air, and then slowly, slowly, lighter means you're taking very little bit, lighter, shallow, taking a little bit of air. You will might find it. Those who are sensitive to it, you'll find it. Those who are not sensitive may not find it. It's okay. But we observe the breath, and then slowly, slowly, breath may become lighter, breath may become shorter. It's fine. And as we do that, something beautiful happens where our thoughts start coming down. We don't have to do anything, but thoughts will start coming down. As you're observing the breath, the thoughts will keep coming down. That's the equation. And before, as we are observing, now since we have so many thoughts and so much of distraction, very soon we will find ourselves thinking in a thought. Maybe after 3 minutes, suddenly realize and say, oh, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. Today being a beginner in the week, Monday, what I'm going to do. What's my assignment? All of that. Or just start thinking about our meetings. And so when we recognize that we're thinking, our job is to bring our attention back to the breath again. So we close your eyes, we're observing the breath anywhere. And then as we're observing the breath, simple observation of the breath, observation, not concentration, just observation, just the way it is, as is, right? As is a normal natural breath is going. We all know that we are breathing 15 to 16 times breath every minute, and then we're not even aware. So when we are observing the breath, and as the breath is becoming lighter, shorter, and then thoughts are coming down. But however, we get distracted, we go into thought. And when we go into thought, we don't even know we're thinking, right? When we know, only when we suddenly realize I'm thinking. And when we realize I'm thinking, that is the time to pull your attention back to the breath again. So this whole process of meditation is to train our mind to keep putting our attention back to the breath every time we get distracted. So for the next few minutes, where I'm going to be playing some music and then I also guide. So as I'm playing music and guiding, our job as part of the meditation is with the eyes closed, observing the breath, and then keep putting our attention back to the breath. And if you are able to be on the breath and then continue maybe for a few seconds, 20, 30, 40, those who've been practicing longer might be able to go deeper for a longer time. But as you're observing, so breath will become lighter, shorter, and the thoughts will keep coming down. There may be a point where there's no thought at all. You and I oftentimes do not even realize that we don't have any thought. Oftentimes we don't realize. Because in meditation, we transcend time. So even for moments of time, become empty and we become thoughtless. And so as the thoughts are coming down, something beautiful is happening. We are becoming empty, and as a result, start experiencing energy. So we may have different kinds of experience in meditation, starting from heaviness of the body to lightness to some kind of colors to some kind of feelings and many of the things that might be seen or experienced, or some may not experience anything. What do we do in meditation? We observe the breath and we become a witness to everything that happens in our body. We become a witness. Witness, look at it without having any interpretation. Just it's happening. I want to see what's happening. So do not interpret, which is one of the toughest things to do with an analytical mind. So dear friends, so let's practice it. Sit comfortably, relax yourself with your eyes closed. And when you open eyes until the time I say, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So do not open your eyes. The key part is to keep our eyes closed. When you keep our eyes closed, 80% of the stimulus is gone. So 80% of the thought will start settling down. So we want to be continuously keep our eyes closed. That's all we're doing, nothing else, right? And then we're observing the breath. And observing, so becoming empty more. So with that, so relax yourself. Sit as comfortable as you can. That's our first meditation. We meditated for about half an hour. Yes. I would like to quickly take a couple of sharing. And then those of you, I'm going to ask a few questions. And you perhaps can either type in the chat, or anybody wants to share experience, you can raise your hand. How many people may have felt heaviness in the body, or lightness in the body, heaviness any part of the body, head, anywhere in any part of the body, or lightness? If you have felt, you can say yes, yes, sir. Yes, Rajendranji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I felt lightness, but not heaviness at all.
Okay, you felt lightness. Wonderful. Many people, how many people have felt they are floating? There is tingling sensations in any part of the body, like maybe in fingers, or in legs, or maybe in the head, on the hands. People felt sweating. People felt hot or cold. Heaviness in the head, of course. Has anybody seen any tingling sensation here. Have you felt tingling sensation here at the eyebrows, in between the eyebrows? How about any colors? If you've seen any colors, if you've seen any visions, or some mountains, or maybe your favorite god, or whatever, any energy, and people felt they're lifting off, very light, they're lifting off. How many people have seen light, right? Tingling in arms and spine, could not concentrate, no problem. Pain behind eyes, all right. So these are all experience of energy, starting from lightness and heaviness in the body. Some people might have felt pain. I'm sure if anybody felt pain, maybe some kind of throbbing pain, deep pain, any part of the body, right? Sensations in the third eye, yes. Crying, yes. If anybody, people have expressed some emotion, whether it could be laughter, whether it could be cry, whether it could be anything, feeling like, just celebration, relaxed and concentration, of course, color, yes. Dear friends, these are all our various meditation experiences. Now, some people might not have felt anything. I don't want you to feel left out because it's common. When we meditate, what we just did, that emptying our mind, just by observing our breath, we empty our mind. And when we become empty slowly, 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 deep inside we are emptiness. That's science, that's quantum physics. Deep inside, at subatomic particle level, when you go and see what is there between these electrons and neutron, we are emptiness. Even that electron and neutron, now science proves that we are actually staying as a wave, as energy, not as particle, until the time we actually observe it. So by default, we are that emptiness, we are that energy. So we are finding and we're feeling that energy in many, many forms. The meditation helps us to find our experience that energy in many forms, starting from various kinds of feelings, our body sensations, or some kind of imagery here, or even more transcendental experiences. Did anybody feel like they are totally, totally one with everything, where you are just merged into something where you didn't even realize where you are? What we call the transcendental experience, where we become one with that whole emptiness out there. We don't feel like coming back because we just feel we merged into it. That's our greater consciousness, our divine self. Aham Brahmasmi, that we've heard from Upanishads. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. So Brahma is the creator. I am Brahmasmi, are the Brahmin, I am this whole thing that I'm existing everywhere. Tattvamasi, you are that, and Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. Now, quantum physics is saying we are this infinite energy field. Deep inside, we're empty, and with emptiness, we're all connected as energy, and we're just this energy field. It's the same thing. Aham Brahmasmi is equal to this greater and infinite energy field. So, in meditation, when we empty ourselves and we observe that we empty ourselves, we are reducing all that unwanted thought. So automatically we allow the body to function pretty great, natural best. We'll start seeing, starting from sleep to many, many benefits as we go along. Just a few days of practice of meditation should help to lower the volume of the unwanted thought and frequencies, to reduce the unnecessary awareness in the body. And as a result, we start actually gaining a lot of health, including insomnias, and some of those will start getting removed. Second, because we are removing all the unwanted thought, we conserve energy, we start feeling energetic. We must feel energetic, and it's got to happen. And third, as we're emptying ourselves, dear friends, then something beautiful happens. That's what we're becoming, merging with an energy, and then we start becoming that whole, we start experiencing something larger than ourselves in the body. As we start experiencing larger than ourselves, we see some of these experiences, and slowly, slowly we'll understand more of it as we go along, but we start experiencing. A goal is to become one with that energy field, and then become that energy field itself. The longer time we spend with a music teacher, we become as good as a music teacher in learning. The longer time we spend with a cricketer like Tendulkar and then learn from him, and they can become as good as that. And the longer time we can spend with that emptiness energy field, then we start becoming that, which is nothing but this greater intelligence, that super intelligence, that intelligence that we have always said somewhere there, it's not somewhere there, and we start experiencing it. And then we start working, we start acting from it. We understand this concept more, which is called that unlimited intelligence, that unlimited mind. So, friends, we will practice this tomorrow again, longer. Now, a few things I wanted to say before we get to closure of it. We have planned a lot of things in this 40 days. We created WhatsApp groups And we sent an email to everyone who registered to become part of that group, because that will be our window and our connectivity for the next 40 days, right? It's not just you just come in and then meditate and go. There are several nuances. It's a path different from each other. So we created these various groups. There are about 10 or 11 groups are there, where each of us are divided. And then we have a very experienced meditator who has understanding of a lot of these concepts, so they're able to guide you. So we call that facilitators. We have a facilitator for you who can guide you. So please do become a member of this WhatsApp group. Is a great way to connect, because one, for guidance, two, we post a lot of resources. We post books, we post these daily meditation links, we post new announcements and all of that. So every day we have something planned. We learn scientific meditation wisdom about how meditation is gaining our health perfectly. When we understand more scientifically, then we accept more. It is not a blind belief at all. So when I came into this meditation, I really love this technique, the concept, because Patriji said one thing. I can give you the path, but I'm not here to solve the problems of yourself. But this is a scientific process. You understand it. You and I are friends. There's no guru shishya. It's all friendly. It's only friendship that exists. We're co-travelers. You take the technique, you understand the concept, then you can apply it, then you see benefits for yourself. You experiment for yourself. Don't believe me. That's what even Gautam Buddha said. Just take it and experiment it, and then if you like it, take it. So that's sort of comforted me. And so we will understand scientifically many, many concepts, including how the body regains health, how we become better with relationships, emotional intelligence, how we expand our quotient, spiritual quotient, how is this whole manifestation working of thoughts and feelings create reality. More scientifically, how is it working? The neuroscience of brain, all of that we understand in various classes. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, we have classes where we go deeper, and then we're bringing in various business leaders who have been practicing meditation, their benefits. So certainly many leaders are here with us, and then so we also bring in external leaders, so they're going to share with us on Saturdays, and then we have something on Thursdays, we have something on Tuesdays. So we have everything every day, something planned. So the key is to be part of these groups. So please do join the WhatsApp groups. We're also posting a daily newsletter to recap our learning from that day, and then as a way to cement whatever we learn a little more deeply. So with that, dear friends, will I invite, I request, we'll take messages from few of our leaders for today, and I request Padma Shri, Dr. Ramani sir.
Morning, Chandra. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Padma Shri Dr. Ramani sir is a founder of Shankara, founder and managing trustee for Shankara Eye Hospitals. It's been a great high foundation. It's been one of the greatest people who have been in India, have been serving the nation and societies. Yes, sir. Your message for us.
Thank you, Chandra. Good morning, dear friends who are all in this satsang. Hearty congratulations for having taken up this simple, scientific approach to meditation. The process by which we are going to bring our body, mind, and soul in unison. Try to understand ourselves, get more focus, more clarity. My only request is please have perseverance. The first 1 week it will take for you to understand the various facets of it, get a feel of it. Please continue to attend the sessions, go through the review what Chandra is going to share with all of you every evening. And this is going to be an enormous benefit for everybody. We have been in this for the past 3 sessions. We've experienced it. It will benefit everyone, believe me. And this is a wonderful thing which you all have taken up. Hearty congratulations and my best wishes to everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that reinforcement of the scientific meditation aspect of it. Thank you so much. Your presence is always great. Um, we invite Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam ji, who is the chairman for Banari Amman Institutes and the companies. Sir, your message on this occasion of the first day.
Good morning, Chandra. Being the first day I extend a warm welcome to all the participants. And, you are going to not only to practice meditation, you are going to hear the stories from many of the leaders, business leaders, as well as the professionals, how they have benefited by undergoing this meditation. Just by my telling is not going to convince you. Only after hearing from them the practical experience they have undergone after undergoing this meditation, you will also really understand how it is going to be beneficial to you. About meditation, I think already you have heard from Mr. Chandra as well as from Dr. Ramani, and 40 days they are there. And what I would request you to practice it. Don't break it at any time, because continuity is very important. Once you are able to continue and get into it, then after that you will never leave it. That is going to be very beneficial, not only for physically, but also for internal development. With this, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants. Thank you, Chandra.
Thank you so much, sir. Practice and sincerity is your message always been. So thank you so much, and commitment to the practice. And dear friends, before we take a message from Padma Shri Karthikeyan, sir, Pharmacy BA Director, we have seen more than 90% of the people, by the time they finish 6 weeks of meditation, they've said their life transformed in many, many ways. Just a different life, before meditation, after meditation. That's what it becomes. So we are constantly, there are several leaders that are there with us, among us. And some of you have been, I'm sure, very, very accomplished and successful in your own way. And then as we go along, we'd like to hear in and then learn from each other, because meditation is we enhance our consciousness greatly by learning and listening to others' experiences. So that's going to be a common theme in the program, to learn and listen to others' experiences. And so as we a way to enhance our knowledge, our understanding of this whole process. And so towards that, we always want to self-assess ourselves. So we're going to send a questionnaire today in our WhatsApp groups to self-assess ourselves, so that we benchmark. And so on day one, this is what I am. And in third week, this is what I am. And then 6 weeks later, this is what I am. So just so that we have a way to measure ourselves in a sleep pattern, in our thought patterns, in our relationships, the way we approach our parents today versus say 6 weeks later, all of that in our environment. So we've got a few questions. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for you to fill up. So sincerely request you to fill it up. And then this time, we're actually doing a scientific study with Professor Dr. NC and some of the medical colleges. So I'm going to have Dr. NC talk about tomorrow. We're actually doing a scientific study of this program. So the questionnaire that's going to be sending today in a Google form, it asks one question in the end: would you be interested to participate in the scientific study? So that we assess. It's not going to be any in-depth anymore. All we need from you is anybody wanting to participate in the scientific study. So if you say yes, then we'll reach out to you to do some more work. But that's our goal, is to the end of the day, after 6 weeks of meditation, being and how you felt, and medically we wanted to also get some of it validated and then documented. So dear friends, so the self-assessment question is very, very important for yourself, just to assess 3 weeks later and 6 weeks later again. So please do take time to fill it up, and then request Padma Shri Karthikeyan sir to give his concluding message for the session. And always after the session, we're staying for another 15, 20 minutes. Those of you want to have any questions, we have any clarifications, I'm there, and then most of my team members are there. So we can definitely clarify. So request Karthikeyan sir to give his message.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me congratulate all the participants today. It's only when you are fortunate enough you feel like joining this group. Messages have gone to everybody, but your time has come to see improvement in your life. I know you're all successful people, happy people, but you can enhance your happiness, enhance your health, more than anything else, enhance your contentment and peace of mind. Whether it's physical health or mental health or relationships, this is the best way, the simplest way. I keep telling all meditations, all systems are good, equally good. But this is the simplest form of meditation. Just observing the breath. Overall, we keep breathing. Thousands and millions of times we have been breathing. Only thing is here, the request is to observe, be aware of your breath for some time. Just simply being aware of the breath. But you can be seated, you can be in any condition, even if you are not well, if you are ill, if for example, you are not able to sit through also, even if you lie down, it's okay. Observe the breath. And also, friends, it's not easy for those who are used to getting a plate. But I tell you, you take this trouble to get into getting up early, little early in the morning. After a few days, you'll find it's a joy. Just 1.5 hours, I only repeat my conversation with Mr. Narendra Modi when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, just before he became PM. I said, what is the source of your energy? How can you be like this? Traveling all the time. He said, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 90 minutes of yoga, pranayama, and meditation. I don't start the day without these things. 90 minutes. And you see the source of energy. We are not talking about politics, philosophies. See the source of energy of this man. He travels all the time. Goes to 10,000, 12,000, 40,000 feet, meeting soldiers, comes back, another 2-3 meetings. That source of strength is you get into a good habit. After 24 hours, can't we spend an hour and a half for our own goodness, health? Our efficiency increases, health increases. You are more productive, joy. You are able to, you will be hearing from many others also from tomorrow, how they are able to be at peace with themselves. Their relationship with people improves. Health, you will see that. And many doctors have said we are going to prescribe meditation now. All that you'll be hearing from experts, successful leaders like Dr. Ramani, Dr. SVV, and Dr. Chidambaram, and so many others are going to come. Senior bureaucrats, everybody. Now I think I'm happy to see a judge also joining, Justice Rajendran. I'm happy. Welcome. Any walk of life, I will tell you, I guarantee, if you are regular, forget 40 days, 40 days good, but even after 10 days, you will see the quality of life improves in many, many aspects. Why not? We spend an hour and a half, it's here, it's available. And Chandra has become a master. Over a period of time, he has become a master coach. And you see, apart from meditation, you hear a lot of wisdom also. So I only will make an appeal to you, please don't miss it. As advised by the leaders earlier, don't miss it. It's a great opportunity. For some reason you are not able to do it in the morning, they join in the evening session, 5 to 6:30. Great opportunity. And myself or Ramani or SVB will not lend our name to something which is not absolutely useful, beneficial. Why are we here? We want everybody to be happy. And please bring your family members also. I can see now when I went around, there are some, I can see some 2-3 people also sitting. I know of people, 3 generations sitting together. You will see after some time, children also, 6 years, 7 years, 10-year-old children. It's possible for everyone because it's the simplest form of meditation. Made easy. Buddha's technique. Brought down back to India by Satya and Goenka-ji, called Guruji, through Vipassana. And here Patriji simplified it by sitting just one day. He is able to take it down. Millions and millions of people are doing it now. So it's a great opportunity. My friends, please do not miss it now. Please bring more people. But the whole family should be here because ultimately we cannot have happiness alone ourselves. So it's going to transform the lives of many people. Welcome. Thank you, Chandra. All the best to you. Great success.
Thank you.
I know more people are going to join tomorrow. Because you missed 1 or 2 days, don't bother. Anytime you can join. The ideal thing is to continue every day. Please bring the whole family. Thank you.
That's right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your presence and then time that message that Gautam Buddha to Sachinand Goenkaji to Patriji. So we are practicing this, been there an ancient technique. So thank you so much, dear friends. We'll take a couple of minutes break, and those of you who want to have interact, so please stay back. And then those of you otherwise, it's really our pleasure and honor on behalf of Buddha Siva Quantum Foundation, which we'll talk about more tomorrow, to have you all join with us on this morning meditation. And a group meditation is much more powerful always. That's why we come together as a group. And so it's our honor to share what we know. And we are quite delighted to have Padmashri Karthikeyan sir, SVB sir, or Ramani sir as our mentors for this foundation in taking and creating intense awareness about meditation worldwide. So thank you all. We'll meet back again at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I do have a second session in the evening, right? So there's a 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. evening. We are doing a second session this time. And so anybody, if you miss, or anybody wanting to have people who could not meet this time, so can join that session. Now, many I see in the chat mail, so being sent if you've registered. Registration site is buddhaceo.org. So if you go there under events, you can register for this program. Registration will be open, and the email goes to everybody who registers the proper email ID. So, and then also we'll also publish a couple of my numbers in the chat in case you still have a challenge. You can call those numbers and then get that extra help. So thank you all and have a great day. 2 minutes later, we're going to interact more if you have any questions. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you for a wonderful session. A beginning session was good. Only one question. Of course, whenever we can't join in the morning, the same person can join in.
That's okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Session repeating. Yeah. 95% will be the same. 5% maybe the variance.
Maybe that's different. That's all right. So the family members also could join also. So I thought that will be fine. That's a very good idea. You're doing it for both morning and the evening. Very nice. Who could miss in the morning, you can always take it in the evening also. Thanks. And it was a very good experience. I liked it. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. How was the Diwali? Everyone happy now. I'm joining this third round of session. And I want to know, the emptiness has any color?
Emptiness, so the emptiness is different for different people. It depends, whatever that your notion of emptiness is, it could be black. For many, it is blackness.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
For many, it's blackness. For some, it is light.
Yeah,
For
light,
some,
black.
it is grayish color. For some, emptiness means some kind of a visual pictures of that space. You know, there is a space where when we grew up with and we said, okay, it's all the black holes and all of that. For some, it is that. When I say emptiness, it's all that space, deep space. Okay. And so it is whatever that can be. I mean, it doesn't matter how you feel. But the key is in the emptiness. Do you experience and do you still sense? Do you still feel those objects and people and places around you? When you don't, and when you find that it is all, there's nothing that exists, then you are into that emptiness. Color doesn't matter, but you're into that emptiness and the blackness and void, right? And for however far that you are becoming aware, when you're putting your awareness onto it and then you find nothing, however far and then infinitely far. And so you are essentially at that point, you are in this emptiness state.
I was expecting some brightness. And also, I have some pain behind eyeballs.
Yes, sir. So the body sensations to pains are common, and a lot of times these are working in the energy body, so they are healing experiences. So there are blocks in various parts of the body, so the blocks get cleared. Now this is the energy sign, the same sign that utilized by the acupuncture, some of those aspects. So it does happen that we might have a block that gets removed. A block or a pain in one part doesn't mean that it's only in healing in that area. It can be anywhere in the body. We know that, right? In acupressure, Somebody punctures something at the bottom in the toe, and then it suddenly starts working somewhere else. It's same way when we have any kind of a pain or a pressure felt or a sensation felt, and a lot of times it's for healing, and there is an energy experience that's happening, and it's just fine. What comes in meditation goes in meditation. Don't have to worry about it all. What do we do when that pain or any of those are there? We just stay through it as much as possible. We stay through it because if it's distracting, if it's troubling so much, then we have meditation, break meditation, maybe drink some water that just again sit back again. Then it'll again continue. Now you may get it again, but some people it's recurring again and again. So just if you sit through it, you're able to sit through it, then eventually body will get just adjusted to some of these things that we experience in the body. And then we start going into the another level of experience or none. Yes.
Two more questions. Do we ask the person who is depression to do this meditation?
Refresher? What is that, sir?
Depression. They are-
Depression. Absolutely. Absolutely. Depression is when we start losing confidence about ourselves, then depression sets in. Right? When we start feeling the lack of control in our life, then slowly, some of these happen. We go into a withdrawal syndrome, and then so depression sets in. So one of the great things meditation is helping people with the depression or anxieties or any kind of disorders is absolutely helping, because anything that's all diseases are psychosomatic. Most of the diseases are psychosomatic. So the psyche is rectified, automatically body, the soma is rectified. So it's a great idea, and then great thing for people who have the depression, rather than continuing to take and then have the painful side effects of various things, but then they can start meditation while they continue to do what they're doing in terms of medication of any kind, or start meditation slowly, and then when they feel confident, then they can make a proper choice. But depression, a lot of people are coming out of depression very easily, coming out of addictions very easily.
Last session, Patri said like the Nasiagra. That means the root of the nose to concentrate.
Yes, the root of the Nasikagra. So right here. So my speaker thing is not working. So one of the co-hosts, please keep spotlighting me. My speaker view, my picture is not coming on. So when I speak, can somebody spotlight me? So the Nasikagra. So this is culmination of something called pineal gland inside. Right, there is a pineal gland in the midbrain. Here at the center inside is the midbrain, which is like that center, which is mystical, which is opening to the possibilities of infinite. So this is the pineal gland. So we often find a sensation. So ultimately, breath becomes shorter, and then becomes a point here. It integrates. So if your question is, I don't know when you said Nasikagra, but if the question is you observe, take any point on your nose, and then if here you can observe, it's fine. Otherwise, anywhere, and start observing breath going in, coming out, and then slowly, it's just breath. You see that some of you will feel cold air going in, warm air coming out, right? Going in, coming out. As it becomes shorter, ultimately it ends here. It doesn't matter whether you feel or not feel, it ends here. Then we start having that activation of our inner glands. That's the time we start seeing, experiencing energy, we experiencing frequency as information, imagery into the body. We'll learn some of it later, but that's what happens. So observing the breath, and then ultimately breath becoming like a point dot, and then it stops existing. Our understanding of that also goes away. We forget about it. And so then we're on the other side where we start experiencing emptiness. It happens automatically. Okay, we got to let go of it. As we observe the breath slowly, we have to let go at some point where we become empty. And then they're all happening simultaneously.
Thank you. Gratitude
Thank you.
to you, Patriji, Yankema, SVBG,
Yes, sir.
Radharamiji, Veena, and Balasundaramana. Thank you.
Yes.
Arigato.
That's right. Thank you.
Mr. Tirumurthy?
Sir, I am working in the scientific field. Some of the experiments in science, I'm not able to understand that. How the meditation helps in unveiling the science? Can you throw light on that?
Yeah, so you start practicing meditation during the next 40 days, we'll understand a lot of concepts. We'll talk about it, so slowly we'll understand them. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. My question is that as this technique we follow of the breath, of watching the breath, I would like to know that is it essential for one to sit in a meditation, and how is it better than being in meditation all through the day? How would you distinguish the two, and how do you describe that sitting in meditation is very essential? I would like to know the difference.
Yes. Meditation means emptying the mind to experience our inner, deeper, greater mind, or that quantum consciousness. Meditation means that. Meditation is equal to experiencing something beyond our body, our inner, greater mind, greater consciousness. Mindfulness means to be aware of every moment in the daytime, in the present moment, non-judgmentally being aware. So that's the distinction between meditation and mindfulness. A lot of times, mindfulness is said to be meditation, right? Being aware of the present moment, or whatever I'm doing, non-judgmentally, and then being fully present with it is mindfulness, and that's one of the benefits of meditation. So meditation is a no mind activity. We observe the breath as the breath is there with us, and just by being observant, not deeply concentrate, just observe the natural breath, and then slowly we forget the very idea that we're observing the breath, and and we observe the breath scientifically, since we're not putting attention to the thought. So automatically our thoughts will come down. So when we observe the breath, our thoughts come down. That's scientific connection. Because where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you put our attention on a thought, the thoughts keep flaring up. One thought will lead to another thought, another thought. So we put our attention away from the thought onto the breath. Now there are various techniques of observing an object and mantra and this and that, but many of them become more intrusive mind activities. Observing the breath becomes a very non-intrusive, subtle mind activity initially, because the breath is there with us lifelong. So before even you realize and I realize I'm breathing, you are breathing, which we forget the most naturally. So that's a beautiful thing that's been done. So by observing the breath, we recognize, and very, very soon, very quickly, we forget ourselves. And so we go into a non-mind activity. So that's what is, then when you're going in there, so as the thoughts are coming down again, because you're not putting attention, we become empty. We become empty, then we start experiencing energy. So meditation is to find our greater inner power out of that emptiness, which is nothing but this whole greater consciousness. Meditation is to become one with that, merge into that greater consciousness, right? So then we start realizing ourselves to be much larger than this limited physical body that we think, right? So we start experiencing the consciousness. Quantum physics calls it quantum consciousness. And so we're becoming that energy field. It's called quantum energy field. We experience that energy field, right? So now we sit in meditation for a few minutes, practice it for 30, 40, 50 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. There's no end, because when you are empty, you are becoming this full energy, that energy field. We'll understand scientifically it contains the waves of possibility, so we can bring out any possibility by becoming that energy field. It's called energy changing matter as opposed to matter changing matter, right? We want to create an experience, it's called matter. We're trying to be as a body and trying to say, okay, I want to tomorrow experience this. It's called matter changing matter. In meditation, when you're becoming that energy, which you're doing an energy changing matter, that's the concept you're applying. Now, because our thoughts come down in meditation, as you're observing the breath, that 80-90% redundant thoughts go away, negative thoughts go away. So then automatically, then we start becoming very mindful. We start becoming present moment oriented. So that means when you walk while walking, eat while eating. That's what Gautam Buddha said. For someone who was early, they said, what is meditation? He said, walk while walking, eat while eating. Then slowly, as then when you this walk while walking comes naturally when we meditate, this concept that we just understood, and we practice it regularly, mindfulness becomes like a natural thing for us, becomes second nature, right? So that's all matter. So then wakefully you're mindful, so you're enjoying your present moment, but at the same time we're going much beyond just being just mindful, right?
Right.
Much beyond being mindful, because we'll understand the full science as we go along. Thank you.
Thank you
in
so
terms
much.
of how it's going to help health, how it's going to bring our emotions control so that we actually have a better relationship, all that, week after week we'll understand a different concept completely. Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, Meenaji.
Hi, this is Meena Joysher from New Jersey. Thank you so much, Chandra sir and team, for offering 2 classes for us. This is evening, and then we have our early morning. And my question was, I'm being greedy. I want to wake up to the meditation also, so I want to attend both. Is that okay?
Yes, that's great. You're
All
getting two
right.
practices. And thank you for being a facilitator this time, Meenaji. I think
Thank
it's
you.
wonderful. Yes. Please
Thank you.
do join us, and I'd like to see you there in that. Yes.
Mr. Sennimale?
Right.
Thank you so much. This is a great experience for me, and I have tried a number of times different types of meditation, where I always had a sort of a guru shishya situation. But here I feel so comfortable. I think Chandra very clearly said we are all sort of equals, so we are participating in a great experience. I thank you. The first day has been very exhilarating. I hope I will continue definitely all the 40 days, which will transform my experience and myself totally. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, we are co-travelers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where do I send my email ID? How do you send?
So, buddhaceo.org. If you go to the
Okay.
site, can somebody post the link for this program in the chat, please, on other side. So, yes,
So,
there will.
yeah, thanks to Mr. S. C. Balasubramanian sir, I joined this.
Okay.
I thank him also.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes.
Happy morning, sir. This is Vinay speaking.
Yes, Vinay, please go ahead.
The quick question is about how do we realize the power of now by using this emptiness or by practicing this meditation? Thank you.
Vinay, just practice. We just started day one, right? Just practice, it all come together. All right. So I've talked about a little bit of science today. We'll continue to talk about this more and more, right? But it starts with the practice. That's it. That's the answer of a question. Power of now will come, which is equal to mindfulness, and that is one of the several benefits of meditation that we started today. You'll experience it after 3 weeks. Perhaps you're not going to ask this question, or if you after this program, you'll probably not ask this question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chandra, sir, and the team for giving us an opportunity to join this session. And my question is, I have been in Florida, US, so I usually start after the dinner. So, do we have any restrictions like to start the meditation on empty stomach, or is it okay to start after the dinner? And that one, first question, and the second one is, I most of the time I heard about the pranayama only. The technique which you are describing now is Anapanasati meditation. Is both are the same or any difference for the practice?
Yes. So first question, great question. So meditation can be practiced after heavy meal. So there is no restriction of when you can practice meditation. You can do it anytime. Okay. Before meal, after meal, just no problem. You can just get up from the bed immediately. I mean, like in the morning, say for India, or in the evening after work, it doesn't matter what time you're doing it, you do it anytime. Right. Now, those who have if you got heavy stuff in the stomach, then when you sit down, you tend to just go into sleep potentially. Right. If you don't find sleep, then it is okay. Right? But there's no side effects, no harmful aspects of meditating before meditation. It is all we're doing, sitting down and just observing our breath. We're getting comfortable, relaxing ourselves by sitting, observing the breath, but it opens so many doors, right, as you go inside. Just that simple technique. So no restriction. Number two, pranayama. Okay, there are all these various buzzwords are there, but to be comfortable, what we are doing is Sukhamaya Pranayama. Pranayama is to deal with the breath, right? In this meditation, we don't regulate the breath. We are into the natural process. What is natural is very, very easy, and what is easy is often right. So we are into this natural breathing process. You and I are breathing right now. So all we're saying is just observe the natural process. When we are natural, then we're going to, it's not going, it becomes automatic. It becomes second nature because it's natural, right? So we're observing our natural breath. It's called Sukhamaya Pranayama. So observing this breath without tampering it, without manipulating it. What is manipulation? You don't have to hold the breath. We don't need long breaths. All you have to do is to observe, not even take breath. I'm not even saying take breath. Observe your breath. Your breath may be very light. Your breath may be very deep and long. Your breath may be fast and slow. Whatever may be that rhythm of the breath, depending on our correct psyche. If I'm very tense, if I'm very stressful, anxious, then my breath may go fast, go slow, go fast, go slow, right? And so just observe that breath. That's it. And then I observe the breath slowly, then the mind starts becoming empty. Slowly, breath also corrects itself to become a very homostasis, very homogeneous breath. It'll become that way. But observe the breath. Right? That's all we have to do. There's no other pranayama that we have to practice for this meditation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So anyone can practice this meditation, even those terminally ill patients on lying down on a bed, or people who have just deep issues and they can't move, back issues, just lying down, right? Any kind of problems, and they're lying down, or maybe paralytic, whatever. Anyone who's got consciously aware, just teach them meditation, they can just start practicing. It will do wonders for them, even just by simply giving them some relief to all the way to total healing. Anything is possible.
Good morning, sir. This is Damodar.
Yes.
Sir, I've been in US, EST time zone. So, but I know that there is another session is going to happen, your evening time. For me, it's tomorrow morning, 6:30. So, is it the same Zoom details for that, the meeting ID and all?
Yes, it's the same. But I suggest you register for the program because we have separate groups for that, right? So every program has different groups, different facilitators. So someone else will guide you in that. So I suggest you register for that program. It's also called Olympus. This morning program is called Kailash, 6-week guided meditation. That's called Olympus 6-week guided meditation. So please register for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And I have another question. So while doing this practice, right? So can we do after physical exercise like a Surya Namaskar?
You can do. Like I said, no restriction. When you do this, you can do it. No restriction whatsoever. Anytime before, after, it doesn't matter. You can do it anytime.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So thank you so much. This is wonderful to have some of those questions. Mr. Trimurti, so stay with us and then you will find answers to a lot of those questions just by sharing as well as in the classes that we talk about, right? And Buddha's Here Quantum Foundation is about bringing about importance and the benefits of meditation very scientifically. So we understand this as much through quantum physics, neuroscience, psychology, of course, a little bit of modern medicine, medical science. We do have doctors, and many of them also sometimes are talking about it, right? So, in fact, maybe a good time, Dr. MC sir, thank you for being there. And I know so much of effort you're putting in bringing this survey. So tomorrow I'll have you speak about this briefly, about this the study we may do maybe in this week, right? We'll do that. It's an appropriate point. Yes, sir.
Sure.
How was the session today?
Yeah, excellent. Introduction session is beautiful. Only thing is I'm very positive about the scientific study and the session itself. It was my ambition, and you had agreed to support this class so that becomes scientifically evident. People can get convinced about the benefits of meditation through articles or publication. It goes on record. So we will together do a pilot study, a small study. This is only a small study. And by this study, we are going to see the feasibility of a larger study. So we'll co-travel, and we'll probably will take more time tomorrow. And if there are anything to discuss further, we may discuss after this session is over, or you can please find a time to discuss about the pros and cons and suggestions of the
Yes, sir.
records which I've already sent.
Sure, sir.
So
We'll talk. I'll call you. Speak about this. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's wonderful. Hi, Jagdish, sir. It's great to see you in this next program. Wonderful. I hope you are.
No, something is wrong with Zoom. Every time the Zoom doesn't seem to like my line for some reason. It keeps closing the audio. Anyway, I just wanted to, there are very few people. I just want to welcome all those people who have been here because I can assure you that you have begun a new life. Just to quote my favorite Omar Khayyam, he says, how long in infinite dispute of this and that endeavor and dispute, better make merry of the fruitful grape than sadden after none or bitter fruit. What this fruit is, this universe, your life, and what you are going to do, what it is telling you is, better make merry of this fruitful grape than miss it up, become sad, or subsequently disappointed and disillusioned. And I think that's what I would like to suggest. This is where meditation will help you to make merry of this life of yours. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank
Incidentally,
you, sir.
for many of them, it's a new year. It's a new year from today for many of them, particularly in the North. And wish you all a happy new year.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's great, sir. Thank you. That's a former professor from IIM Bangalore. Great, sir. Thank you. Yes, Ramesh, good to see you there.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Yeah, it was a great session today morning and evening here. And we shared all the communities in local communities in St. Louis, Missouri. Probably a few people will join tomorrow morning session. Yeah, it was a great session today. Great start.
Wonderful. There's a lot of good work that you're doing in St. Louis and United States. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. All right. So thank you, friends. Thank you so much. So we'll meet back tomorrow at 6 a.m. again for this program. Thank you all. Have a great day.